All right, welcome to another ZQL game. Seat 1 Pranjal, seat 2 John, seat 3 Udupa, and seat 4 Aniket. So we'll go begin now. Okay, Pranjal. One of the oldest cities in Japan, it was chosen in 794 as the new seat of the imperial court by Emperor Kanmu. Its economy flourished as one of the three major cities in Japan during the Edo period and is today the headquarters of companies like Nintendo and Kyocera, with city one of the alternate targets for the 1945 atomic bombings. It was saved by the timely intervention of the US Secretary of State of War, Henry Stimson, who knew of the city's culture and history from his time spent there.
Kyoto?
Just a minute. That's correct. Kyoto. Right. The Gallery of the Louvre was painted by which American inventor at London's Royal Academy of Art? He studied philosophy and math at Yale, eventually turning to electromagnetism. Although the 1844 technological innovation he or God wrought brought the world closer in a manner of speaking, there is no doubt that his artistic efforts communicate to us his well-honed skills with the brush period.
Stephenson?
Stephenson, okay, no. John?
Pass.
Pass. Udupa?
Morse.
Yeah, Samuel Morse, that is correct. So this was the what had God wrought. So Samuel Morse. Okay, John, set of 240. The ruler of Macedonia between 336 to 323 BC, the emperor of Russia from 1855 to 1881, the king of Yugoslavia from 1921 to 1934. What is their shared name?
Alexander.
Alexander is correct. What term is used for this technique of using styling product or conditioner to detangle and smooth the curl? Using the fingers to run through the hair is akin to dash, a gardening activity using the eponymous tool.
Raking.
2 on 2. This is raking. Okay, Udupa. In the only documented example of pre-Columbian transoceanic contact of Europeans with Americans, Leif Erikson made first contact with the indigenous Beothuk people at the site of Les Anses au Meadow in which island in Vinland? Its present name is a rather fanciful interpretation of its Latin name, Terra Nova.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland, that's correct. Jackson Pollock created his iconic action paintings using the dash technique with which he worked his way around a canvas laid on the floor. This was executed by holding a very wet brush or a stick, and the technique got its name from how the paint fell on the canvas. What technique?
Drip.
2 on 2 for you as well. Aniket. Team Fortress 2 is a first-person shooter game that offers players achievements for completing certain tasks. What achievement is given to players who get 25 headshots as a sniper? It is a two-word term used to refer to a major component of the CNS, but in slang has come to refer to one's intelligence or brains. Sorry. Ten.
Gray matter.
Yeah, that is correct. This is gray matter. Okay. Ant-Man uses PIM particles to shrink himself to the size of an ant and return to normal. Scientists have postulated that the science behind it might involve replacing electrons with which elementary subatomic particle to reduce atoms to 2/100ths of its original size. These small fundamental particles belong to the lepton family.
I'll say
Okay, need an answer?
hadron.
Not hadron, Pranjal?
Muon.
Muon, that's correct. It is a muon.
Okay.
MUON.
Muon, okay, Pranjal set of 2. This is the crest of an ISL team from a city in southern India. It features stylized intent that are meant to symbolize a structure constructed in 1591 to commemorate the shifting of the capital from Golconda to this city, which structure is represented through the indents in the crest.
Charminar.
Yeah, of course, you can see the 4 minars there. All right, next question. The lower spires of the Sagrada family are surmounted by communion hosts with sheaves of wheat and chalices with bunches of grapes. Which ritual commemoration does it represent? Also known as Holy Communion and Lord's Supper, it derives its name from the Greek for good and offered graciously, referring to the bread and wine involved. Okay, need an answer?
No, pass.
Pass, John.
Holy Sacrament?
Holy Sacrament, no. Aniket?
Pass.
Udupa.
Eucharist.
Eucharist is correct.
Yes.
All right, John set of 2. ISO Rivolta is an Italian car and motorbike manufacturer. ID, the legendary creature appearing on its logo. It has the body, tail, and back legs of a lion and the head and wings of an eagle. This creature also lends its name to one of the 4 entities in a series of 7 fantasy novels.
Griffin.
Yeah, it's a griffin. Or a griff. Giving its name to Gryffindor. Titular characters have the pizzazz, the jazz, the walk, and they do most of the talk. But there are also some who die at the end. This character has a torrid affair with Count Alexei Kirillovich Vronsky. She wants to be a good mother while living life on her own terms. The affair is needed to figure herself out, and when she does, it is too late, as the wheels of the train are waiting for her. Which titular heroine?
Spoiler, Anna Karenina.
Anna Karenina.
Should have carried a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for all the quads, for all the questions in this quad, spoiler alert. So anyway. Okay, Udupa. This unusually large book by Nancy Thejaswi for Simon & Schuster, published in 2015, pays tribute to which artist and scientist who carried out the earliest known North American bird banding experiment. This book is titled Life Size, as a direct reference to the fact that this naturalist's monumental work, printed between 1827 and 1838, contains 435 life-size watercolors of birds.
Audubon.
Audubon is correct. John James Audubon. Next, the first Holy Roman Emperor from 800 to 813, ruler of Spanish Empire from 1788 to 1808, the King of the Commonwealth Realm from 2022. What is the shared name?
Charles.
Charlemagne, that's correct. Aniket, the film was one of the first to use a leitmotif, a technique borrowed from opera. The film takes its title from a letter used by a team of beggars to brand the killer in the film so that he may be more easily surveilled. What is the film's one letter title?
M.
This is Fritz Lang's M. Well done. This ancient town in Japan, today the center of the city of Kitakyushu, is best known for its historic castle. It was home to the 17th century swordsman Saint Miyamoto Musashi, who founded the combat school famous for its use of two swords, which town one of the alternate target for the 1945 atomic bombing. It was saved only because of fog, which diverted the bombing mission to Nagasaki. Then
Nanjima.
okay, no, Pranjal? Passing. John?
Imeji.
Udupa?
Pass.
Pass. Okay. This is Kokura. City of Kokura. All right. Pranjal, set of two. Which 2021 TV series depicts the effects of PTSD in the lives of young schoolgirls who survive a grisly air crash? They are the members of the titular soccer team, which gets its name from certain colorful social wasp.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets, correct. What term is used for this technique of gliding styling product or conditioner over the hair to enhance curl? The act of dash often results in a shiny finish similar to the top of donut or lemon cake.
Glazing.
It is glazing, correct. 2-1-2. John. Bruce Banner uses epigenetic switches to transform his DNA from its normal state to the gamma radiation affected chromothriptic stage, thus transforming back and forth as the Hulk. This transformation results in his body bruising green due to formation of biliverdin, a metabolite of which oxygen transport metalloprotein present in RBCs.
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin is correct. Okay. This is the sports question. This ground located in a city named after the officer who led the conquest of Sindh in the 1840s is the easternmost test cricket venue in the world. Which venue that hosted matches at the 1992 as well as the 2015 ICC Cricket World Cups? You can name the ground or the city.
Calcutta.
Okay, no, not the Eden Gardens. Aniket?
Pass.
Pass. Pranjal? Pass. Udupa?
Napier.
Napier is correct. This is the McLean Park in Napier. Udupa, set of two. The griffin appears on the logo of this car brand, the English sister marque of German manufacturer Opel. Identify this car brand, which shares its name with the district in South London where it was founded. It was owned by GM for nearly a century before being sold to Peugeot in 2017.
Vauxhall.
Vauxhall is correct. The Passion facade of Sagrada Familia depicts Peter the Apostle with 3 women and a rooster. He has an embarrassed face and his body is covered with a sheet as a symbol of cowardice. What do the 3 women specifically represent?
His daughters.
His daughters. Okay, no. Aniket?
Pass.
Pass. Pranjal?
Pass.
John?
Pass.
Pass. Slightly difficult one. So this is the 3 times he denied Christ before sunrise. So denial of Peter by. All right. Aniket set of 2. In 1595, Spanish explorer Alvaro de Mendana de Niera made first contact with which ethno-linguistic group of people in the Marquesas Island in the South Pacific. The name of this group, as well as their namesake region, refers to the fact that they are a collective formed of many.
Polynesians.
Polynesian is correct. Vaslav Nijinsky is considered the greatest male dancer of the early 20th century. His breakout role was as the Golden Slave in which ballet based on a symphonic suite by Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov. This Oriental-themed work, which broke away from conventional ballet techniques, narrated the story of Shahryar and Zobedi's doomed marriage.
Shahrazade.
Shahrazad is correct. 1-2. Okay, Pranjal. The Wolverine's powers include his retractable forearm claw and a powerful healing factor. Along with fast-acting immunological responses, his body would have to exhibit a hyper version of which biological process of the cell cycle to ensure damaged tissue is repaired rapidly. It involves a single cell dividing into 2 identical daughter cells.
Vision.
Okay, not fission. Aniket?
Pass.
Pass. Passing to John.
Mitosis.
Yeah, mitosis. We'll fetch you the points here. Okay, Pranjal. Her own name is Emma Roald. She's sure, she's bored, and she loves men, paying her all the attention in the world. A mother who didn't want to be a mother, a wife who became a wife only to lead a monotonous life. Her husband and 2 men she claims to love or has before being in debt and realizing no one loves her, she dies by swallowing arsenic. Which controversial titular heroine is this?
Bovary.
Yeah, Madame Bovary is correct. John. These ink drawings are the work of an aspiring artist who turned his back on art to enroll in medical school in Zaragoza, Spain. Luckily, his artistic abilities contributed to pioneering concepts in neuroscience, notably the neuron doctrine, his theory that neurons communicate without touching. Ideally, this pioneer of modern neuroscience, one of the winners of the 1906 Nobel for Medicine, along with Camillo Golgi.
Pass.
Pass. Aniket?
Ramon Y. Kayal or whatever that, however that word is.
Ramon is good enough for the points. Ramon Cajal, C-A-J-A-L. All right, John. In 1930, Australian gold prospector Mike Leahy made first contact with the Melanesians living in the remote interior highland of which island, divided administratively. Sometimes known as the Central Cordillera, the chain of mountain ranges in this island includes the peak Puncak Jaya.
New Guinea.
New Guinea. Done. Udupa. This city in Japan saw the opening of the country's first Chinatown, as well as the first English language paper. Commodore Matthew Perry arrived just south of this city in 1854, opening up Japan for foreign trade and commerce. What city? The second largest in Japan by population and one of the alternate targets for the 1945 atomic bombings.
Osaka.
Quite. Aniket?
Pass.
Pass. Pranjal.
Yokohama.
Yokohama is correct. Udupa. Which 2019 TV series follows Tony Johnson, a depressed writer, and his struggle to make sense of the period that follows the death of his wife? The show partnered with a charity called CALM, that is Campaign Against Living Miserably, to install park benches, much like the ones in the show, to promote conversations around mental health.
Postmortem.
Not quite. Aniket?
Afterlife.
Afterlife is correct. So Netflix, 3 seasons. Okay, Aniket, for you, the King of Macedonia from 359 to 336, the King of Spain from 1556 to 1598 CE, and the King of England from 1554 to 58 CE from his marriage to Queen Mary I, and the consort of the British monarch from 1952 to 2021. What is the shared name?
Philip.
Philip is correct. French artist Yves Klein traveled to a test facility at the Centre d'Essai du Gaz de France to experiment with a technique that produced such artworks on highly resistant cardboard. He replaced the brush with a handheld industrial device to employ a certain medium to produce an inferno of color. What is used to produce such artworks? Okay, need an answer.
Oil paint.
Oil is not correct. Pranjal?
Pass.
Pass. John?
Pass.
Udup?
Pass.
Okay, so this is inferno and handheld, industrial device. So fire or blowtorch or whatever, flame. All right, halfway through, Pranjal. This Algerian political thriller film presents a fictionalized account of the assassination of Grigoris Lambrakis. The film takes its title from common Greek graffiti often seen around the incident. What is this? What is its one-letter title? The letter has been in the news, being emblazoned on Russian tanks.
Z.
Yeah, Z is correct. The majestic griffin appearing on the logo of this Swedish company derives from the coat of arms of the southernmost province of the country. ID this heavy vehicles manufacturer. It shares its name with the province, which is the root word for the name of the larger geographic region it is part of.
Scania.
Scania is correct. Done. John, your Sagrada Familia question. The 3 arches over the entrance of the nativity facade of the Sagrada Familia depict the birth and childhood of Jesus Christ. What prior event that is usually celebrated on March 25th is depicted above these panels?
The Mary getting pregnant. I can't remember the word.
Can you explain that? What do you say?
When Mary is, when Mary communes with God and becomes pregnant with Jesus.
There is points for the explanation.
With God.
Whatever it's called.
It's called Annunciation. But
The Annunciation, yes.
Points for explanation. Well done. Okay, John, next question. In the Team Fortress 2, what achievement is given to players who killed 10 snipers that are using the classic rifle? It is a 2-word term used to refer to cylindrical training equipment that is generally filled with sand and hung from a ceiling. In slang, it can refer to a person who is severely criticized or ridiculed as a way for other people to express their feelings.
Punch bag?
Yeah, punch bag or punching bag is good enough. Okay, Udupa. What term is used for this technique of smoothing styling product or conditioner over curly hair to prevent frizz? This method resembles the act of dash as the palms are gently pressed together.
Praying.
I'm sorry?
Praying.
Yeah, it is praying or prayer hands. Nijinsky was dismissed from the Imperial Ballet after he danced in tights while playing the role of Albrecht, the Duke of Silesia, in which ballet, with music by Adolf Adam. Albrecht is pursued by the vindictive ghosts of unmarried women betrayed by their lovers, but is saved by the actions of the ballet's titular peasant girl.
Carmen.
No. Aniket?
Pass.
Pass. Pranjal?
Pass.
John?
Giselle?
Yes, Giselle is a nice answer there.
Nice.
This is Giselle. Aniket, final set of 2 in this round. Which 2022 TV series produced by Marvel Studios is about Stephen Grant, who works at the souvenir shop of an ancient history museum in London? He has dissociative identity disorder and is introduced to his mercenary alter ego, Mark Spector. Ken?
Iron Fist.
Pranjal? And
Moon Knight.
yeah, Moon Knight, nick of time. This is Moon Knight. Okay, Aniket. This is the crest of an ISL team from a city in Western India. Its central motif depicts the city's local train, and the stars signify certain entities that were handed over to England under this title as part of the dowry of Katrina Braganza. What do the stars represent in the crest?
The 7 islands of Mumbai.
Or 7 islands of Bombay. So it's good enough. Okay, Pranjal. Vincent van Gogh's paintings come alive because of this technique of laying a thick dollop of paint onto the canvas. ID this technique also employed by Rembrandt and Titian. It is known by an Italian word that originates from a term for dough or to knead. The same root also gives us a culinary word that comes in many shapes and sizes.
Pastel.
Pastel, not correct. Aniket?
Pass.
Pass. Udupa?
Pass.
John?
Pass.
Okay. So you said, you guys all said half the word. It's
Pasta.
impasto.
I was very
Pasto.
Oh, pasto.
You go somewhere.
It's impasto. All right. Okay, Pranjal. This ground is today named after the national poet of the country. Probably best known for a 1987 test match confrontation between Mike Gatting and a home umpire. It also hosted matches at the 1987 and 1996 Cricket World Cup. Which venue? Either ground or city. Ken?
Rawalpindi.
Okay, Aniket?
Faisalabad.
Faisalabad or Iqbal. That's a national poet. Faisalabad is correct. Okay, John. This biopic directed by Oliver Stone is the third in an informal trilogy that consists of JFK and Nixon. The film takes its title from the subject's middle initial, which was also a popular nickname for him. What is its one-letter title?
W.
It is W. Nijinsky forayed into choreography with which ballet with music by Claude Debussy, in which a young half-man, half-goat wakes up from his slumber and meets several nymphs. Considered one of the first modern ballet, it sparked controversy due to its erotic subtext and ending. Nijinsky lies down in a suggestive manner on top of a nymph's veil.
Pan.
Not Pan. Udupa?
Pass.
Aniket?
Pass.
Pranjal. First text in John C. This is Afternoon of a Fawn. That's the name. Okay, Udupa. In Team Fortress 2, what achievement is given to players who do 10 partner taunt with a teammate while capturing a control point? It is a one-word or a two-word term used to refer to a reverse steamer on which theatrical performances are given. In slang, it refers to a person who behaves in a way that is intended to attract attention or admiration.
Showboat.
Showboat. Your lit question. This young, naive American only wanted a life. She wanted to be courted, and she was by Mr. Winterbone, a sophisticated compatriot of hers. His pursuit of her is hampered by her own flirtatiousness, which is frowned upon by the other expatriates when they meet in Switzerland and Italy. She eventually catches malaria and dies in Rome. Which titular heroine is this? Her creator also wrote a portrait of a lady.
Hmm.
10.
Lady Chatterley's lover.
Okay. No, Aniket?
Pass.
Pranjal?
Pass.
John?
Daisy Miller.
Very well done. Daisy Miller by Henry James. That's correct.
Pass.
Okay. Aniket, set of 2. The 4 towers of the glory facade of the Sagrada Familia are topped with the pinnacles depicting the 4 evangelists. Which evangelist is depicted as a lion? He suffered martyrdom in Alexandria, and his body was later smuggled by 2 merchants to a city which now has a basilica and square dedicated to this saint.
Mark.
Yeah, that's correct. What term is used for this technique of squeezing hair in sections to form volumized curd? It is similar to dash paper or cloth into a compact mass. A type of circular elastic hair tie works in a similar manner.
Scrunching.
Scrunching is correct. And the hair tie is a scrunchie. So, okay, just a minute. Give me some time to reconnect. All right, penultimate round. Pretty close game. Pranjal. One of the first recorded landings on the North Sentinel Islands in the Bay of Bengal was in August 1883, when the British responded to what seemed like the sound of distant gunfire. Their boats found nothing and departed, only to find out later that the unusual noise had been coming from which other island located further southeast.
Sumatra.
Sumatra is not correct. Udupa.
Barren Island.
Aniket.
Krakatoa.
Yeah, 1883. So Krakatoa. So Krakatoa eruption. Okay. Okay, Pranjal, the Team Fortress 2, what achievement is given to players who kill 10 parachuting players? It is a 2-word term used to refer to a steep downward plunge by an aircraft, but in slang can refer to a sudden drop of any kind.
Free fall.
Free fall, Udupa.
Nosedive.
Nosedive is correct, not free fall. Fortunate there. Okay, John. This is the crest of an ISL team from a city in eastern India. It features a famous engraving from the walls of a 13th century CE UNESCO World Heritage Site constructed by King Narasimha Deva I. ID this site that comprises 24 such engraving on its walls.
Pass.
Passing to Pranjal.
Konark Sun Temple.
Konark Sun Temple is correct. Which 2020 TV series features Kaya Scodelario as a young ice skater going around in circles, managing her bipolar disorder in order to prevent her career from dash dash. It was cancelled by Netflix after its pilot season.
Spinning Out.
Yes, that is correct. Spinning Out. Spinning Out. Udupa. Spider-Man has the ability to stick to and climb wall. What type of weak forces between atoms or molecule have scientists proposed as a means for the superpower? First postulated by a Dutch physicist, these interactions have been observed between the spatulae or bristles of spiders, geckos, or lizard and the surface they stick.
Van der Waals force.
Van der Waal interaction. That's right. This ground is located in a city which was the first one in the southern hemisphere to get electric street lights due to its glittering economic role. Funded by a company founded by Cecil Rhodes, it hosted matches at the 2003 ICC Cricket World Cup. Which venue? You can name the ground or the city.
Durban.
Durban. No, not Kingsmead. Durban. Aniket.
Pass.
Pass. Pranjal.
Kimberley.
Kimberley is correct. So glittering. So diamond there.
Oh.
De Beers oval or diamond oval. Aniket, set of two. This now defunct Swedish automaker adopted the Griffin logo after its merger with Scania in 1969. ID this car brand, which started in the 1930s as Svenska Aeroplan Aktiebolag, an aircraft manufacturer for the SAF. This brand was a favorite of the titular character from a man called Ove.
Saab.
Saab is correct. Okay. The vile predator Alec is attracted to this English country girl and finds her a job as his mother's poultry keeper. She resists Alec's manipulative attentions, but he ultimately has his way with her. She takes her revenge years later by stabbing him to death in his bed before being executed herself. Which titular heroine is this? The eldest daughter of John Derbyfield and a pure woman faithfully presented. Ten. Yeah. Need an answer?
Jane Eyre.
Pranjal?
Pass.
Pass. John?
Tess of the D'Urbervilles.
Yeah. Derbyfield. So Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Hardy. All right. Round 8, final round. Close match there. Okay, Pranjal. The Prince of Orange from 1650 to 1702 and King of England from 1689 to 1702. The Emperor of Germany and King of Prussia from 1797 to 1888. The current heir apparent of the British monarchy. Common name or shared name. Sorry.
William.
William or Wilhelm. You would do. And your final direct. Nijinsky made his mark with the ballet Russes through his role as a titular puppet in which ballet choreographed by Mikhail Fokin with orchestral concert work by Stravinsky. It was based on a stock character of Russian folk puppetry, traditionally a rag doll distinguished by a red dress, a red kolpak, and often a long nose.
Firebird.
Okay, no, Aniket?
Petrushka.
Petrushka is a very nice answer. This is Petrushka. John's final set of 2. This Japanese city is the largest on the western coast of Honshu and has historically been a major network junction between maritime and river system traffic. Its merger with nearby areas has given it the largest rice paddy field acreage in Japan. In 1965, it was also the site of the second ever outbreak of Minamata disease. Which city is this? One of the alternate targets for the 1945 atomic bombings.
Nagoya.
Not Nagoya, Udupa.
I'll still try Osaka once more.
Aniket.
Kobe.
Not Kobe, Pranjal. Passing. Okay. Starts with N though. It's not Nagoya. This is Niigata. Gata. Final direct for you, John. While dash printing began in China and the West had adopted it centuries earlier, Andy Warhol innovated by combining painted background with photographic image. The technique gets its name from the material originally used to make the mesh over which Warhol would run a squeegee to print an image. ID this technique. 10 letters.
Wood screen.
Not wood screen. Pranjal. Pass. Udupa.
Silk screen.
Silk screen is correct. Silk screen. And final 2 directs for Udupa. This is the crest of an ISL team from a city in southern India. Depicts the front facade of a structure built in 1887 and is said to be inspired by the Windsor Castle and features elements of the Tudor architecture. Which structure is this that has been host to several concerts?
Bangalore Palace.
Of course, Bangalore Palace. Okay. Your one word, one letter film question. This drama film is a modern adaptation of a 1600s work set during the Ottoman Venetian War. Its plot follows a character named Hugo attempting to convince the protagonist Odin James that his girlfriend has been unfaithful to him. What is its one letter title?
O.
O is correct based on Othello. 2 on 2 there. And Aniket, your final 2. The cyanotype is a type of slow reacting photography technique sensitive to UV and blue light spectrum that was discovered by Sir John Herschel in 1842. These exquisite images of algae and fern using this camera-less technique was captured by which English botanist, often considered the very first female photographer. They were published under what was the world's first book to include photographic images. Ten.
Smith.
Pranjal. Pass. John.
Brown.
Brown. Okay. Udupa.
Talbot.
Okay, that's wrong. That's incorrect. This is Atkins. This is Anna Atkins. That's the book's name. Okay, Aniket, your cricket question. In 2016, this ground was renamed after a local cricketer who led his team to a major global championship. The first ground in the region to install floodlights for an international match. It hosted matches at the 2007 ICC Cricket World Cup. Which venue? Either the ground, name of the ground, or the country. Country in which it is located.
The Darren Sammy Stadium.
Darren Sammy will fetch you the points there, and very close game. Everyone getting the win point here. So Udupa and Aniket 15, John 14, Pranjal on 30.